financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by Thav Gross. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Pat Simasco back with us for a second segment dealing with elder law issues. One of David Einstein's favorite words is elder.
Good
Pat's
morning.
from Simasco Law, co-sponsor of the show. Brian Small, good morning. Glad you're back.
Good morning. Wonderful to be here.
David Einstanding, you have any words of wisdom for us before we get going?
You look awesome today, Ken.
David, you are right on point for once. It's good to see that happening. All right, the topic today, Dad's got to go to the nursing home. Last week was, let's get our house in order. Now Dad's got to go to the nursing home, so we got to deal with that issue. Why are you laughing?
I'm just glad you gave the whole topic. Dad's got to go to the nursing home, because otherwise
Dad's got to go.
It's down the hall to the left.
Or there's a whole bunch of things how you can finish Dad's got to go, but in this case he's got to go to the nursing home, which is bad of enough situation. All right, set the stage. People are living longer with the benefits of medicine and better lifestyles. Baby boomers are getting older. Retirement planning, oftentimes retirement plans were worked on the assumption that you were going to live to the mid-70s, early 80s, but what if you end up living to the mid-90s and early 100s?
And not only that, Ken, people are in their late 60s and early 70s, and they're working harder and longer when they were 50 years old.
Absolutely. And so the problem that we always talk about, and I've heard you say this a lot to me, Pat, is the problem is not dying. The problem is, what if I live too long?
That's the number one risk in retirement, is living too long.
Which is the goal.
That's what we all want.
Well, the goal is live long and live healthy.
Right.
Okay, I don't think the goal is to get to the nursing home.
No.
I mean, that's
Not
what
on
we're
I
going to
thought
talk
Mr.
about.
bucket
Spock
list.
said it was live long and prosper.
Yeah.
Dr. Spock? Or
Mr. Spock.
Was it Mr. Spock?
Star Trek.
They didn't give him a doctorate after all
Dr.
his wisdom?
Spock was the baby doctor.
Oh, gotcha. Good point. I'm showing my age. From Genworth.com, average cost of nursing home care. We'll pop it on the screen. This is from Michigan. Average cost $8,060 per month for a semi-private room. If you go in the Metro Detroit areas, what I found is the range is usually from $8,000 to $12,000 a month for a nursing home. So here's the point. Dad's got to go to the nursing home. If it's going to cost, let's make the numbers easy for the sake of our math wizards. Let's just make it $10,000 a month. If you're going to go in the nursing home at $10,000 a month, Brian, how much would that be per year?
I think it would be $120,000.
Think
and
about
I don't
it.
even need my calculator.
Think about it this way, Ken. On a
Very good, Pat.
traditional 30-year mortgage with a typical AM, how much would a $10,000 a month payment, what type of mortgage would that be floating? Probably $2 million?
Oh, to pay $10,000 a month? Yeah, probably.
So think about it. Just to put the cost into perspective, because $2,500.
So the nursing home is a $2.5 million home.
That's what that payment.
But you don't even get a big flat screen TV in the room.
You're lucky if you
no-
you don't even get a room.
and
You
no
get, you get
fear.
the share
Funny.
room.
What's the average length here in the nursing home?
32 months. Third of us will be in the nursing home for 32 months. And the sad reality, it's the exact same bed in a private pay as it would be the Medicaid. So if I'm paying 10 grand a month, I want a big screen TV and I want chocolates on the pillow, but you don't get them. Medicaid, it's the exact same bed.
You need to explain to us how Medicaid fits in. Let me throw out a few other statistics and then we want to go right to that point. 81 million is the expected number of Americans that are age 65 or older when we get to 2050. Remember, we only have 300 million people in the country. 12 million will be the number of Americans expected to need long-term care in 2050. 40% is the percentage of individuals who will reach 65 who will enter a nursing home during their lifetimes. And just like you said, what's the average length of stay for a nursing home resident? 32 months. Those are sobering thoughts in terms of how you're going to pay for this $10,000 a month. So when you mention Medicaid, how does that interplay? What is, if I've got $300,000 in savings, I've got enough money to carry me 2.5 years. But that means that all goes to the nursing home.
Right.
What about the money for my wife for her house?
Right.
And what do I leave for my children? Nothing?
Well, that's the whole idea is with Medicaid planning, and some people don't like the idea of Medicaid planning, but what really, really burns me is that no one has on their bucket list, let's go to the nursing home. Medicaid knows it costs a third of the money.
Even the owners of nursing homes don't have that on their bucket list.
No. Medicaid knows it costs a third of the money to keep mom at home on Medicaid than it does in the nursing home. So if it costs $9,000 in the nursing home, they could keep them home for $3,000 a month. But Medicaid does not effectively pay for in-home care. They say they do, but it's a nightmare program. So if you're going to the nursing home, my feeling is protect every dime. And for married couples, it's called the Spousal Impoverishment Act. They want to protect the spouse at home. So there's plans available to protect every dime of that money if you know what the plans are and how to implement them.
Right.
Otherwise, they'll just keep, you can write the check until you're broke and then Medicaid will pay.
Let me put it in perspective. If you don't do any Medicaid planning and you go into the nursing home and let's say you have $200,000 in the bank, what happens? Is it fair to say that $200,000 gets paid $10,000 a month to the nursing home until you have no money left?
Yes.
And then at that point, you could conceivably apply for Medicaid because you're broke.
Yeah, and the Medicaid nursing home worker will say, yeah, we'll file your app for you. It's like going to the IRS agent to file your tax return. Send all your money and I'll file.
Yeah, no help.
There's no planning,
no
yeah.
planning. So if properly planned, there's a way whether if you had $200,000 in savings, $300,000 in savings, if you have your house, if you have your cars paid for, that you can save those assets and still go in and get the benefit of Medicaid.
Yes.
The point is, you don't want to end up losing everything you worked for your entire life if you go in the nursing home for two reasons. One is you have a spouse that you want to take care of, and two is you'd like to leave something to your children.
Correct.
It's not wrong to do planning. It's your responsibility to do planning because you have to make sure you're preserved for your family. We come back from the break, you're going to tell us how to do it.
Yes, sir.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross, our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Thav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Thav Gross today, 888-235-HELP. It's devastating, the effects of debt and foreclosure on you and your family. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross, our firm will solve your problem. Some fear the word bankruptcy, but in reality, it's a strategy to save your home and to eliminate debt. If you're in financial trouble, timing is critical. You need to take action now. We've been saving homes and eliminating debt for over 33 years.
Call Thav Gross, 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Samasco Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the Medicaid and nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke.
You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
We're back. So the goal is I've got $400,000. And all of a sudden, Dad's got to go into the nursing home.
I have that case right now.
What do you do to say, if we don't do any planning, how much money do I get to keep?
Well, right now, for a married couple, so I have that case. Hour I'll be at my office doing this. Dad's got dementia. He's in the nursing home. They have a house and $400,000. Mom gets to keep the house in the first $119,000 roughly. She gets
$119,220.
Yes,
I bet.
you're the man. So half up to $119,220. So she gets to keep the first $100,000. We have $300,000 to protect.
She has the house.
So with the $300,000 that we need to spend down, Medicaid will let you spend it on the nursing home. The nursing home will take it, or you could.
Well, why don't we just give it to the nursing home?
Well, you could do that, or we want to take care of Mom because she's the spouse at home, and the law allows us to do that. So you can pay for the funeral, you can pay off the mortgage, you can pay off medical bills. You can't give away money; that's not allowed.
Can't gift it to the kids.
But you can put it into a Medicaid compliant annuity that provides income to Mom while she's alive. So when you put that extra money, you're allowed to turn it into a pension for Mom.
So let's say we had $400,000. We get to keep basically $120,000.
Keep
We
$100,000.
spend down and pay for the funeral and other things. We spend another $30,000.
Yep.
Okay, so that's $150,000. Now we have $250,000. We take and we buy a Medicaid. What's it called?
Compliant annuity that says that Mom gets the income for her lifetime. So we just turned it into a pension. The idea is Medicaid allows moms to keep their pension. Some people didn't take a pension, they put it in a 401k.
So if
you turn it back into a pension for Mom.
So if Mom was 70,
she has a 15-year life
and we
expectancy.
took a $250,000 to buy that annuity, how much, approximately, what kind of income stream would it give her?
$2,000 a month, $1,000 a month. It replaces the income that we're losing.
Hold on, Ken, but the reality is
Medicaid doesn't get that money.
No.
Most of the time we see that the money is not necessarily sitting in a brokerage account, it's in a 401k.
Yeah.
So do we have to get it, how do we get it out of the 401k and into a Medicaid annuity?
That's what we do every day. Like I'm a broker now, I'm an investment advisor. I'm with TD Ameritrade. I have a ability to get the 401k out of Dad's name, get it into Mom's name.
Does she have to pay the tax on it?
Nope. When you withdraw it, you have to pay the tax on a monthly basis, but I can get it from Dad's name into Mom's name and then turn it into a private Medicaid compliant annuity that pays Mom for her lifetime.
So what happens
she
to the
dies,
money when Mom dies?
That's a new law change.
A year after you
That's a
start the
new law
annuity.
change.
All right, so if Mom lives
It's
to
a
100,
10-year
she keeps getting the $2,000 a month, right?
Well, it's let's say it's a 10-year payment stream. Mom dies after year 2. The old days it went to the state of Michigan. The state of Michigan changed the law. It says it can go to the kids. It's
Wow.
protected.
What did they do? Make a mistake?
No, they actually made a mistake before and they fixed it.
And what if
You ever
Mom-
hear that? Michigan
Yeah, they did
fixed
something
it?
right?
Oh my God. So the house goes to the kids?
Wait, are you suggesting the governor had anything to do with this? Because
No.
he's not on what I would call a good
No,
roll right now.
They
Pat,
follow the law.
If Mom dies in year 12, what happens to the principal?
It's
If you
called.
have a
It
10-year.
has to be actuary sound, so it pays for 10 years. It doesn't pay for her
For life.
life. It pays for 10 years, 8 years. It has to pay her life expectancy or
So
less.
she needs to take that money and then save it, but it's her money at this point.
Now, the money that she has in her bank account, she dies, it can't go to Dad because he's only allowed $2,000 in the bank. She dies, it goes to the kids. House, she dies, it goes to the kids. Whatever's left over in that Medicaid annuity goes to the kids. So effectively, we're protected every dime of the
What about
money.
when she goes to the nursing home?
That's a different issue.
Well, I'm going to hold
Single
on that one because
person
we're
now.
going to cover that in the next segment of the of
That's
this show.
harder.
But let's back up for a second because I don't think people get the message clearly on this, and it is so important. What we're saying is Dad's got $400,000. Without proper planning, all but about $2,000 would go to Medicaid.
You have to back up. Mom, Dad, the couple, the husband and wife, have $400,000.
Thank you. Okay, they have $400,000. With no planning, Dad goes in the nursing home, $2,000, and then everything goes to Medicaid. With minimal planning, you're allowed to keep $120,000 for mom and the house, but you still have vulnerable $280,000. With proper planning, you spend down from the 180 for expenses, and then you do one of these Medicaid annuities, and you effectively keep all of the money rather than giving it to the state for Medicaid. And people seem to think that it's cheating. It's not cheating, it's doing go back to what we talk about on the show all the time. What is our mantra? Preserve future income for you and your family. Whether it comes to eliminating debt, which Brian and I talk about all the time with David on many, many shows, that's one aspect. Medicaid planning is the same thing. Preserve those assets for the family, for the wife, and for the children. Don't give it away to the government.
I think you're right with a little math here. You get to protect up to half up to 120. So if there's 400, it's 100.
If you got 50, you can only protect 25.
Right. So
if it's 400, it's
100.
100. It's 120 because half is 200.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
But if it was only 200,000, then
correct. You're right. Actually, you're right. You're right.
All right. So we're coming up to a break, but what do they talk about with a 5-year look back?
Okay, yeah.
And I also want you to explain to us how you said we get to keep the house. Is that an automatic, or is there some kind of lien issue with the house?
We'll talk about
People
it.
worry about that.
Yeah, it's a big
All right,
deal.
Well, give me what the 5-year look back rule is. What?
Well, for a single person now, married couple, I can protect every dime immediately. If mom or dad's in the nursing home, I can protect. Doesn't matter. Mom dies, and now you got a single person.
Which is what you were talking about.
To protect,
Yes.
I can protect 100% of the money if I have 5 years to do it.
5
That's
years
the
from when?
5-year look back.
What 5 years?
5
from when?
years before applying Medicaid.
Well, how do you know when that's going to happen?
Well, I have a crystal ball on my desk.
So if you go to Pat Samasco,
If he has a crystal ball, he would have won the $1.5 billion lotto.
You ask him to pull out the crystal ball. We'll be back.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Fav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Fav Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you're approaching retirement and don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your investments, and your savings. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Putting a solid strategy in place with Samasco Law legally protects your assets as well as your wishes. Since a will doesn't cover you medically or financially, Samasco Law goes beyond ordinary asset management protection to safeguard everything you have.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Fav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Fav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Fav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. It's devastating. The effects of debt and foreclosure on you and your family. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem. Some fear the word bankruptcy, but in reality, it's a strategy to save your home and to eliminate debt.
If you're in financial trouble, timing is critical. You need to take action now. We've been saving homes and eliminating debt for over 33 years.
Call Fav Gross 888-235-HELP.
All right, welcome back. I want to come right to the house issue, but before we do that, I love to do announcements. And so here are our announcements. First of all, we have seminars coming up. 2 of them very important. The first one is Wednesday, March 9th, 6 to 7:30 p.m. It's called Covering Your Legal and Medical Issues When You're Older. Pat Simasko is going to join us and talk about all the elder law issues, more extensive than we're doing in this show because we're going to have more time to make the presentation. Brian, you're going to talk about debt issues for elderly people because that pervades the system as well. I'm going to talk about basics of estate planning as well. That is on Wednesday, March 9th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at our offices in Bingham Farms. We have another seminar also coming up on Wednesday, April 13th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. and that is called Go Away, Mr. Debt-Man. And that's about, I know Brian loves the name. Brian, you've always liked my names for the seminars.
I do.
That's about preserving future income for you and your family. That's 6:30 to 8 p.m. Both seminars are free. To attend, you go to our websites, stavgross.com or lawandreality.com, and just click on the link to sign up. We mail you free tickets. Seminars are always enjoyable. They're free. Take advantage of them. You can also call 888-235-HELP. I know everyone doesn't always rely on using the computer, so we do it the old-fashioned way. Just call 888-235-HELP. I want to remind our listeners to listen to us at Law and Reality Live with Mildred Gaddis on WCHB 1200 AM 99.9 FM. That's noon to 1 on Tuesdays. On Saturdays from 9 a.m. we have Law and Reality Dealing with Your Reality from 9 to 10 a.m. on WDFN. That's 11:30 a.m.
You know, if you haven't had an opportunity, Ken, to DVR our wonderful show.
I do DVR our
I'm sure
show.
you do.
I believe everybody DVRs our show.
All our viewers, if you want to catch old episodes, up on the screen you'll see we have a YouTube channel, and it's great because you can go back to the beginning and watch them all, one after another.
Absolutely, and it's good, and the topics of the shows are there so you can see what the topic of each show is, so you can zero in on what, if it's a tax problem issue, you can zero in on the tax shows. We have, YouTube's cool because it allows you to group things, so we have all the shows grouped into the different categories as well.
Awesome.
Free reports on the websites. Take a look at them. We have a free report from Pat on Elder Law, Retiree's Guide to Social Security. We have a free report on using Reg X to save your home and avoid foreclosure, and a new report, Business Formation and Loans and Grants available for small businesses. They're all free, available on both websites.
We have a new one for IRA distributions too.
Good.
IRAs and 401k.
All right, we'll have to make that one available as well too. All right, now, back to the house. So what's this thing about a lien on the house I hear about, and how do you avoid that? What goes on?
Great question. First of all, if it's a married couple, dad's in the nursing home, it's protected for mom. Dad dies, the house goes to mom, it's protected for mom. But now she's a single person.
Okay, and that goes to what you were saying before. Dad went in the nursing home, because this was, Dad's got to go to the nursing home. The end of this show is his 32 months are up, Dad's gone.
Yeah,
now mom's a widow.
Or let's do the other one. Mom dies first. Dad has the house. Medicaid will file a lien on their probate estate. So you have to keep the house from going through probate.
A lien from mom's Medicaid or a lien
Dad's
from Dad's?
from Medicaid.
So Dad now has to go in the nursing home because mom already is expired.
Well, Dad's been in the nursing home for 32 months.
Oh, okay.
And he's still
and then
alive.
mom died in the middle.
Mom died first. Now Dad owns the house. People never die in the order that you expect them to. So all of a sudden we have to keep that house out of Dad's probate. If not, if that house goes through probate, Medicaid will file a lien on the probate estate and effectively take the house to reimburse for all the money that Medicaid paid.
Dad's in the nursing home. Mom's gone. What do you do? Dad,
we need a Ladybird Deed.
What if Dad can't sign?
That's the trouble.
What if Dad's...
Yeah, well, that's the trouble. We need to do a Ladybird Deed. Trust agreements don't protect the house from Medicaid, Medicaid lien. So we need to do something called the Ladybird Deed. And the Ladybird Deed says Dad owns a house while he's alive. Dad dies, it goes to the kids. A beneficiary deed. Dad dies, it goes to the kids. This is the problem. Dad's had a horrible stroke and now he can't sign. Those power of attorneys that Dad had way in the past.
That we were talking about last week.
Yes.
Okay.
Those power of attorneys, especially if they're from the UAW power of attorney, the lawyers, which are great lawyers, but those power of attorneys have to have the language in it that says the kids can do the Ladybird deeds, can do gifting, can do transfers. If you don't have that Ladybird deed done, Dad dies, that house goes through probate, you lose the house.
So another reason to revisit your estate plan and make sure that it's current, because if it's over 5 years old, it's probably got
And what we
problems.
see, Pat, in that scenario is Dad's in the nursing home, Mom was living at home, Mom needed a little bit of help, so son or daughter is living in that house, and that's their principal residence, and they need that for shelter, and that's where they're living with their kids, and Mom's there, and all of a sudden when Mom goes, if you don't have that Ladybird deed, not only is it subject to the Medicaid lien, but it's going to be subject to they're going to lose, the kids are going to lose their residence.
Place to live,
Now, same exact facts. Mom died while Dad was in the nursing home. Dad didn't have that power of attorney allowing you to sign for him on the Ladybird deed. You lose the house?
Well, you got to go to probate court and get permission to do the Ladybird deed. This is the actual case. We did a TV commercial, and a guy saw it. He came in on a Thursday afternoon. His mom was in the nursing home for the last 3 years, and he's paying the bills for the last 3 years. Thank God he had a power of attorney that had the language in it. We did a Ladybird deed at Thursday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. She died Friday morning.
And if you hadn't done it?
She would have lost the house.
All right, now.
Why is that important? Because power of attorneys cancel upon death.
Right.
You have to have it signed before Mom dies. You don't need it 5 years before Mom dies. You need it before Mom passes away.
We're down to 1 minute, and which isn't going to give you a lot of time. But what about the rest of my? All right, Dad's passed away. Mom's not in the nursing home.
Mom's got $400,000 now.
Yeah.
We need to get that out of her name 5 years before she's in the nursing home. If we can do that, that money will be protected from the nursing home. We don't put it in the kids' names because of why? Kids' problems, creditors. We use special asset preservations trust to do that.
If we don't have the 5 years, how much can you
We
save?
can save between 50 to 60% of her money. So we can protect it all if we have 5 years, about 50 to 60%.
And if Mom doesn't do anything to protect it, how much is she going to save?
Everything but $2,000.
She's going to lose everything but $2,000.
She'll lose everything but $2,000.
It is I can tell you this much. Nobody knows these rules except people that deal with handling the problems like Pat, and the other group of people that know the rules are all of the ones that lost all of their money and they learn about the rules too late. If you have an elder parent, you should get in, make an appointment, go to our website, request a free consultation. We will schedule you in a consultation with Pat or Pat's brother Jim, and you can protect your assets. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.